Okay, this is part 2 of cleaning off the bookshelves. It's like 15 minutes after we did the last part, so we're all still in the same clothes and everything. We have some children over here with us, one doing stickers, one doing a sewing project, and a sleeping baby. Big sister is getting lunch ready, so she might call them out in a little bit. Okay, so the Answers in Genesis books. These short books are by Ken Ham. They ask a small question, like a question, and have a paragraph answer about creation and dinosaurs and all of those things. The Book of Beginnings from ICR, Henry M. Morris III, and they are about, what's the subtitle on them? A Practical Guide to Understand and Teach Genesis. We're going to keep those. Those are good. 50 Women Every Christian Should Know. I don't know if Virginia's read this whole thing, but my sister got this for her for Christmas last year. So, Edith Schaefer, her husband, was a very famous Bible teacher, and this is her book to women about being crafty in your home, making your home a good place to be. The Answers books, these are Ken Ham, and they're longer versions of these short answers books over here. These ones are for little kids. These are more like high school and college level essays on different things. I mean, they're only, 4 to 8 pages long, but they're deep. They're good, but they're deep. So Much More by Anna, Sophia, and Elizabeth Botkin. I don't think we've read this. I think we got this from somebody. We had a friend giving away a pile of books, and we got this one. Keeping it? Yes?
I have no idea. It's not my
Okay, we will see. Okay, Joyfully at Home by Jasmine Bauckham. We've really enjoyed the teachings by her dad, and Virginia read this book a couple years ago and really, really enjoyed it. I know that she doesn't agree necessarily that she wrote this book, saying I was just a kid and didn't really know exactly all I was teaching, but we found some very good points in that book. A Love That Multiplies by the Duggars. You probably have seen the Duggars because they were on TV, and this book is just about how they make things work in their house, and it's actually a very good book. I got a lot from it. Demolishing Contradictions by Ken Ham. Just short questions that people say is a contradiction in the Bible and why it's not a contradiction, how the Bible answers that. Your Origins Matter by Henry M. Morris. He, again, ICR Answers in Genesis is mostly all of this shelf. 6 Days of Creation by Henry Morris. 5 Minutes in Church History. You enjoyed that?
That was really good.
I'm going to move it to a different shelf, but we're going to keep this book. We got this. Thank you, Bobby, for your free shelf. We have a friend who has a free shelf of books that he gives to passer-throughs. Darwin's Plantation. You just read that, so
I
you can
just
talk
read
about
that
it.
recently. Talked a lot about... Sorry, the camera's seeing weird stuff. Darwin's Plantation, written by Ken Ham and Dr. Charles Ware, talking about racism, its roots in Darwinian evolution, and how the church should see every person as one blood. We're all created in Adam and all need the gospel and can be saved through Christ. So that's the basis of the book. They do go a lot into history, especially Dr. Ware goes a lot into the history of racism in America specifically and that kind of thing. So very, very good book.
Okay. The Genesis Record by Henry Morris.
Okay, big. See that scientific and devotional commentary on the Book of Beginnings? I have not read it. It is a thick
It's dusty.
book. It's a good, thick book, from what I understand, but I just have not had the chance to pick it up and actually read it.
Keeping or giving away? Or Goodwill?
Keeping.
Keeping.
Good resource.
Okay, these 2 books are going to go away. Nothing against Andrew Snelling. We enjoy Andrew Snelling's teachings. But we got these really cheap sometime, and it's not something our family is going to be able to dig into these large books with the things that our family's interested in. So these
If you're interested in geology from a creation science biblical viewpoint, these are your books, and I will give them to you if you are the first to comment.
So,
I want Andrew Snelling books.
I want Andrew Snelling.
Yes. I want Andrew Snelling.
Okay, these 2 books are going to a different shelf. This is the American Girls Handy Book and the American Boys Handy Book. They are old books that tell what turn-of-the-century classic crafts and activities. Samuel loves this because it talks about building forts and boats and all kinds of stuff. So they're just going up here. Okay, Disciples Manual. We have 2 copies. Ooh. This is why we're cleaning off our shelf, because my books keep falling apart.
Hold on. Okay.
This is a good book. We enjoyed this. We talked about William MacDonald in the last video. and it's got some good points, but I don't know if we agree with everything anymore.
Don't necessarily agree with all the theology, but the orthopraxy, the practical devotional stuff is very, very good. And there's the reason I have 2 copies, because I tend to read through it with a young man, and I give him a copy, and we read through that together. So haven't done that in quite a few years, but very good book.
Okay, so we're going to keep both of those. Head Covering by Jeremy Gardner.
There's one chapter there that we're going to scrap, but other than that, it's a very good book.
We enjoyed that book, so I'm going to put it up here with the head covering book that we had. We'll try.
We're having a rough go over here.
Okay, the Pilgrim Church.
Pilgrim Church. I have had some people say that this is not entirely historically accurate, but especially
Forward
that
by Dave
forward
Hunt.
by Dave Hunt. That's probably why. I'm not a Dave Hunt fan. But you know what? I think we could pass that on. So if somebody's interested in church history, I will send you this book.
Okay, again, we're not totally saying that it's all perfect, but... Okay, that's another Henry Morris. We're going to keep that. In 6 Days, Why 50 Scientists Choose to Believe in Creation.
Haven't read it yet. I've read little bits and pieces.
Yes, haven't read the whole thing, but it's very good. Another Ray Comfort book, The Defender's Guide for Life's Tough Questions.
I know I've read it in the past, but it's been a few years.
We'll keep though.
Yes, good book.
Okay, Searching for Adam. This was a book I got really cheap, and I think it's good, but I don't know that we're going to use it again. It's a master book. It's a very big book. If somebody would like this book, Searching for Adam, Terry Mortensen. We actually enjoy Terry Mortensen. We've heard speaking things by him. I just don't think we're going to read it, so we're going to put it on. If you would like that book, I want Terry Mortensen. Parenting.
We were doing this with a Sunday school class at church, and then COVID happened, I think.
Yeah.
So we never finished the book, actually. So we probably ought to finish the book before we put our seal of approval or disapproval on it.
Okay. Raising Maidens of Virtue by Stacey McDonald. We really enjoyed this book. It's a study to go through mothers and daughters with stories and Bible verses. And it's very kind of old-fashioned, but people think we're old-fashioned, so I like it.
We've recommended this to multiple young ladies.
I've used it with multiple young ladies also in Bible studies. So I think that's actually, going back to this, I think working with young ladies is the mother's job, should be the mother's job, but there are certain young ladies who don't have a mother at home to be able to do that. And so I want to fill in that gap, but in a way of bringing them into our family, not sending them off to a separate class, seeing what it looks like in real life. Okay. Great Scientists Who Honored Their Creator. Thinking God's Thoughts After Him.
Very good. Little portraits of famous scientists from history. Very, very good.
We have this series of DVDs. Oh, you want to show? Oh. He's been working on stickers. Good job. Did you do all the work?
Stickers? Oh, sorry. You got that wood. What are you working on?
Finish mine.
She's doing a sewing project to make a marker holder for us, but we're not going to do the next section till after lunch, okay?
Okay.
You can finish it
After
later.
lunch.
Okay.
Almost done.
So we have this Body of Evidence by Dr. Menton, a DVD series that talks about different parts of the bodies. He's a very heady man. Like listening to him.
Very
But
intellectual.
it's very good. And so this is study questions that go, you could use it as like part of a class
With the DVD
for high school.
series.
And then these are all from Institute for Creation Research, and we have DVDs that go with them.
They're not DVDs.
Oh.
They are
Something.
CD-ROMs that have like things you can look at and whatever. And yeah.
Okay, so we've got this Grand Canyon book.
Who's that by?
Austin.
Oh, Steve Austin. Okay.
Well, it's edited by him, so it's
Yeah.
different articles by different people. Are we keeping?
Yes.
Okay.
Good catastrophic geology.
Climates before and after the Genesis flood. See, there's books on here that we don't even know we have.
Oh, Larry, pardon me. I should read that.
Okay, do you want it on your desk or here on the shelf?
No, I'll put it on the shelf. Oh, there's an oldie.
This is a good one, Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings. We should get it out for Samuel to look at. But it's about how the world was actually mapped out before people thought that people could travel the world.
Yeah, before Columbus, people knew a lot of things. There's some not entirely accurate things in there, but there's a lot of good stuff in there too. So
Yeah.
again, chew it all up and spit out the bones if you need to.
Exactly. The Genesis of Ancient...
Genius.
Sorry, the Genius. I've been reading all these Genesis things over here. Genius of Ancient Man is a very good book. It's got a lot of pictures.
Yes.
See, I like it. It's got a lot of pictures. But anyway, it talks about how ancient man was not stupid. What we think of as caveman actually had a lot of knowledge and how they went about their lives.
Yeah, how they traveled, technology they had made, all kinds of good stuff.
Can I finish that cinnamon toast crunch?
Yes, you may finish the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. There were a couple pieces. So this is by Henry Morris, that their words may be used against them, and it's actually quotes from evolutionists that are useful for creationists.
Very good book if you have discussions with people who believe in evolution, in the religion of evolution. And then when they say things, they actually betray their own position because their position is inconsistent with logic.
Yes. So it's a very good book. These are from ICR. Highly recommend these books.
Hat tip to Frank Sherwin for the Animals book.
Mommy.
Yeah, so these...
Thank you, Frank. This is an awesome book.
So this talks... Mark did this with the kids one time, where they would just read one page a day. So they'd read about the penguins, and then they'd read about the winged lizards, and what animals eat. And it was very interesting.
Very, very good for kids.
And then we got another of those.
And this one's Creation Basics. So, same type of way it's set up. They would do one page and it just talked about the basics of how God made the world and how our world shows God. And then a guide to dinosaurs. So if your kids like dinosaurs, this is a good one. I think they also have a couple more now. So you can get a set of these books, but I don't remember what the other book is. There might be one.
Human body and maybe astronomy, she says.
So, sorry.
There was a dinosaur.
Yeah, here's a dinosaur book. This is by Dwayne Gish. This book is much more heady. I mean, it's like these books, but it's good. It tells. When you look at the front cover, you think it's going to be a children's book, but it's more of a science book.
Yep.
It's a very good one. This one by Paul Taylor.
Not our Paul Taylor, right?
Different Paul Taylor. But this is about dinosaurs also. Okay.
Almost done.
I'm going to get rid of this, but I'm just going to get rid of it because I've had it for a while. But if you go on Voice of the Martyrs, which I was, Voice of the Martyrs, which I was talking about before, on their page.
It's Kids of Courage.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Kids of Courage. It's linked on their page, and you can go for different countries, and it will tell you about believers in those countries and give you pages about that country, stories about it, and worksheet pages to do, craft, recipes, all of that stuff. This was all just printed off from there by somebody. I picked this up for free at a homeschool convention, but I'm just not going to keep it on my shelf, but you can get all of that online, and we've used many of them. And what's this? This I can get rid of.
Oh, yes.
This was about Montpelier, which is the local to us. Henry Knox was the first Secretary of War under George Washington, and his home is half a mile from our house, or the recreation of his home is half a mile from our house.
Actually, he used to own our land.
Yes. So this book was done by a group of teachers at a summer teacher institute class thing, and my dad had a section in it. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to look over it again and get rid of what I don't want. But my dad did a section about between the numbers and going to cemeteries and finding out how to look up historical figures in the world. So I'm going to take that off the shelf so I can look at it, but I don't need to keep all those teachers' work. And this is a book about the Underground Railroad. I'm not really sure why it's on that shelf, but just a history book we have. So I will put that over here with our history books, and we will go through all of this. Ugh, I don't even have room for it. We'll go through all of this on a different day. So we have another pile of things. So if you would like, are we going to do a separate video on this? Or right here?
Right here.
Okay, so if you would like the Andrew Snelling book, say, I want Andrew Snelling. If you would like the Pilgrim Church book, say, I would like the Pilgrim Church. If you would like the Searching for Adam book, say, Terry Mortensen. I would like Terry Mortensen.
More freebies.
So more freebies. We're going to go stick them in the pile, and we will see you guys later because food is ready. Bye.